Hello, this is Movies in Short. I'm going to talk about the American action comedy Barely Lethal today. At the beginning of the movie, we see the Prescott Academy, which is a secret school run by the government that trains little girls to be killers. Hardman, who is in charge of the group, brings them in as young as 10 months old to teach them everything they need to know about life without any help from the outside world. At the Prescott Academy, little girls are taught to be killers. They start learning to shoot with guns that are taller than them when they are 3 years old. When they turn 5, they learn how to drive. And by the time they are a year old, they can do a high-speed car chase with skill. Every day, they learn new ways to fight so that when they turn into teenagers, they can be sent on dangerous missions without anyone knowing. No attachments is the #1 rule that Hardman follows. So, even though all of the girls are orphans, they have never had a chance to get to know each other. They don't have names, so everyone calls them by their agent number. The best student at the academy right now is student number 83. She shoots like a trained killer and fights better than everyone else. But she never understood the no attachments rule. One day, the girls are told to use a pen to poke a stuffed animal. 83 holds the toy to her chest while the other girls do what they are told. Hardman uses her as a bad example and rips off the head of the toy. 83 has a lot of feelings that are about to burst out of her one day. As time goes on, she turns into a teenager who is very good at fighting. Number 84, who has always been second best at everything, is her biggest rival. She hates 83. And if they didn't work for the same agency, she would kill her. 83 is the first one in her class to be activated, which means she goes on dangerous missions before any of her classmates. As usual, 84 doesn't like it, but she has no right to say anything about it. 83 goes on several missions after being turned on. Since she is only a teenager, no one ever thinks she is an agent. Hardman is impressed by how well she does all of her jobs. She still misses the normal life she never got to have as a teenager. She is spying on a target during one of her missions when she sees a party going on next door. When 83 watches the teens dance and has fun, she realizes that her life isn't normal. She missed out on a lot of her childhood, so she doesn't want her teen years to be wasted. 83 decides to run away as soon as she can from the establishment and its responsibilities. But before she can do that, she needs to know what a normal girl is like. For this, she starts to watch movies like Mean Girls, The Princess Diary, and Clueless to learn about what high school is like for teens. When she goes on a mission, she buys magazines to read in secret during long, boring meetings. One day, when Hardman is telling her about an important mission, he finds her reading a magazine while he is telling her about it. He tells her to get back to reality because the next mission is very risky. Victoria was found in a city 8 hours ago. She sells weapons and is the most dangerous woman in the mafia. If she isn't caught alive within 2 days, she will run away again. 84 wants to go on the mission because she thinks it will make Hardman like her more. But Hardman gives the job to 83. In the next scene, Victoria is with 3 hostages in a construction zone. She makes fun of them and pulls off their blindfolds. All of a sudden, the woman who is being held hostage says that she is 83 years old. In one quick move, 83 attacks Knox and beats up all of her goons. She ties a hook to Knox that goes up to an airplane flying above. They are finally pulled up to the plane, and 80 job 3's is done. But because Knox still has her gun, she points it at her. 83 cuts the harness and falls into the river below while Knox is pulled into the plane. When Hardman realizes that 83 isn't there, he tries to reach her through a device on her wrist. When 83 gets out of the water, he can be heard. She doesn't answer, though, because she knows this is her only chance to leave her old life behind. She throws away her watch and decides not to look back ever again. Back on the plane, they tell Hardman that they can't see or hear anything from her. He says she is inactive and keeps questioning Victoria. Then, 83 makes a whole new identity for herself under the name Megan. She also moves to Newton and starts high school there. Through a website, she finds a family to stay with. The rest of her family meets her at the airport. It is made up of the mother, Mrs. Larson, her son, Parker, and her sarcastic teenage daughter, Liz. Liz isn't too happy that Megan has moved in, and it's hard for her to get used to having her around. She doesn't understand why Megan is so happy about simple things like riding the school bus. Still, she agrees to help Megan around the school so that her mother will be happy. Megan wears a crazy outfit to her first day of school, which makes everyone look at her. A bully named Gooch calls her fresh meat in the first few minutes, and everyone laughs. Liz gives her clothes with less patterns on them so she feels better. As an exchange student from another country, she has to talk in front of everyone at the morning assembly. Before she goes on stage, she meets Roger, a nerdy kid who runs the sound and lights for the school band. Megan thinks he's a nerd because of the movies she's seen. When she meets everyone at school, they make fun of her and call her names. Soon, they start telling her to go back to Canada, where she came from. When the chanting gets louder, Cash, who is in charge of the school band, plays a song to stop the crowd. He is the most popular guy at school, and a lot of people like him. Megan is also drawn to him right away. During lunch, some cheerleaders ask her to join them, but she says no because she thinks they are mean like the cheerleaders in the movies she likes. She sees Roger again in biology class and becomes friends with him. He seems to like her. But Megan can only think about Cash. She is given Cash as a lab partner the next day, but some of the other girls in the class ask her to pick someone else because they want Cash. The girls tell Megan after class that Cash likes girls who play the school's mascot. Megan doesn't realize that they're trying to set her up, so she goes to the school's mascot audition. She is chosen right away and told to start practicing for the next game. During the practice, a group of men in masks run up to her and try to take her away. Megan easily beats them with her skills, which surprises everyone else. She thought the people in masks were agents sent by Hardman, but it turns out they are guys from a rival college trying to cause trouble. Before she knows it, everyone is already filming her, much to her horror. They put the video on social media. Hardman is holding Victoria at Prescott's base and questioning her. She also knows that it is wrong for him to take away a good childhood from young girls. She tells him to stop, but he says he's doing it for a good reason. Victoria is also very interested in number 84, and she plans to use her to get away. They soon hear about the Megan video that went viral, and they think that she is now working for a rival group. The next day, everyone at school talks about how great Megan is at fighting. She goes from being a nobody to one of the cool girls overnight. Even better, Cash calls her after school to invite her to his band practice. When she gets there, she meets Roger. While she waits for Cash, she talks to Roger. Roger likes her personality and notices that she is a lot like him. Megan, on the other hand, is too busy staring at Cash to notice that Cash likes her. Later, her high school bully Gooch invites her to a party at his house that he is throwing. Megan is so excited because she has never been to a party like this before. People from Prescott take her while she is going home that day. Hardman thinks she works for a rival business and doesn't believe her when she tells him she just wants to live a normal life. He gives her a drug that makes people tell the truth, and then he finds out that she is telling the truth. Since he taught her everything she knows, Hardman thinks he has a right to her life. He gives her 2 days to go back to base. Then, his people throw her out on the front porch to make Megan look like she's just drunk. The next time Megan sees Roger, she tells him about Gooch's party, but he won't go because his father is strict about parties. Since he is Megan's only friend at school, his presence would make her feel better. Later that night, Megan and Liz go to the party. Liz's mother made her go with Megan. Megan is surprised to see that 84, who now goes by the name Heather, is also at the party. Megan thinks Hardman sent Heather to keep an eye on her, but Heather doesn't confirm or deny this. Roger also goes to the party to find Megan, but when he sees her kissing Cash, he is disappointed. At the end of the night, Cash asks her to be his homecoming date. When Megan gets on the school bus the next morning, she sees that Hardman is dressed up as the driver. He is there to tell her that Victoria has gotten away from Prescott and plans to get back at her. He tells her she can go back to Prescott, but Megan says no. Later, when she and Liz are driving to school, a masked killer is after them. Megan tells Liz the truth about her past while they are in a car chase. In the end, they both crash in a junkyard, where the assassin's car is also. The assassin is lost, but Megan can tell from the smell of her perfume that she is Heather. After the crash, Liz is in the hospital. Megan wants to leave before she hurts more people, but Liz thinks it would be worse if Megan tried to leave the family. From that point forward, they get along well. Megan tells Liz everything she needs to know about her job as an agent. They go shopping together for clothes for homecoming and help each other get ready for the big night. Liz goes on a date with Gooch, who has changed since the party where they met. Chase and Megan, on the other hand, go together. Megan thought it would be a special night, but Chase doesn't talk to her much. After spending time with him, she realizes that he is popular because of who he is as a whole. She breaks up with him and then asks Roger to dance. To her surprise, he says no and looks at Heather, his date for the night. The girls argue over who will be his date, and they end up fighting over it. They fight all over the place, breaking the decorations. They end up in the kitchen, where Heather is getting ready to stab Megan. Liz sneaks up on Heather and uses a corn dog stick to stab her in the leg. Then, Megan hits Heather in the head and knocks her out. After that, The girls run back home to find that Victoria and her people have taken Mrs. Larson and Parker hostage. Megan fights them well until they take Liz from her. She gives up because she wants to protect her family. But she still hopes that Hardman will come to save her. Victoria laughs at her for being so naive and tells her that she was the very first Prescott girl. Number 1. Just like Megan. She left Prescott because it took away her childhood. She challenges Megan to a fight. And Megan is easy to beat. Hardman suddenly shows up with more people to help Megan and catch Victoria. They break in and use a gun that shoots a drug to knock Victoria out. Megan gives Hardman a big hug and thanks him for helping her. In the final scene, she stops Roger on his way home and takes him on a helicopter ride with her.